How did the running game get going when you were in the game on Saturday?
I don't know. Just sometimes I'd say the carry fairy just allows people to run well, and it just happened to sprinkle on me that day. Just worked out well. The offensive line was doing really well. They were rushing the defensive ends really hard up the field, in all sincerity, with their defensive scheme, and we just started taking advantage of it with our outside zone game. So they just rush up the field and we just cut right under it and just work. So probably that's really what did it. I'd say that was probably and then the pulling was working well with the offensive guards and such. So that was probably a combination of those two things.
Is that something that would have been available earlier in the game, or do you think it had to kind of bear itself out?
I think it had to bear itself out because you can't. They say you need to set up. You can't really just go into some things. There has to be some kind of outside zone to set the play action pass. There needs to be inside zone to set the outside zone. There needs to be power so that you can do play fakes or anything. So with us running it up the middle all the time, it allowed for us to kind of delve into other things. It allowed for us to expand, I'd say.
Drake, are you healthy?
Yeah, had a little setback.
With the knee or something else?
Just aches and creaks in the bones. I'm old now. I'm 21. Just takes a little wear and tear on you sometimes. So, I got back and I'm good now.
Do you think that was a function of coming back and having your carries increase? Because it seems like you had a couple games where you had those carries and then you vanished.
I don't think it was a product of that. In all sincerity, it's probably a product of exams, not sleeping much, and not taking care of other things. But yeah, that probably was it, and stretching and such. But yeah, it's just functional stuff. It's just daily things that sick kind of.
Did it go through your mind though that you maybe missed an opportunity to be a feature back or whatever, or to get because you came back and then?
Did it ever strike my mind as is this going to be an issue?
I had my chance. I came back and I was doing well, and then now I'm out for a couple games or getting 2 carries or whatever.
Did it ever cross my mind? I'd say naturally you kind of have those thoughts. You have those oh no, I'm out. I might not play again. But just like every other thing, I tend to just okay, think about it for 2 seconds. It's a negative thought. Get it out of the mind. Just progress forward. And working hard every day, you kind of figure eventually it's going to come back around, And it just so happened to kind of work its way into Minnesota game.
How big of a load could you carry right now? What would you say your max is right now?
A max? If I was just Drake, we're going to run you into the ground, and you're not going to be able to walk the next day.
Yeah, that.
Okay. If I probably could just estimate it, maybe 30. I don't know, 30 carries. The next day I'd probably be pretty decrepit and such, but yeah, that'd probably be it. I'd say.
What's a healthy number that you could carry without being decrepit?
20 something, just that general ballpark. But that's not for me to determine whether the coaches they've been doing pretty well. They game plan incredibly well, and how I fit in the game plan, wherever they say, I always say is what I'm going to do. And if that's 5 carries, if that's 35 carries, and I'm decrepit the next day, I guess then that's what needed to be done that game to win the game.
It's one thing early in the season when everyone's kind of figuring things out and you're kind of running back by committee type deal. What challenges are posed if that's also the case down the stretch of the year? When in theory everything would be figured out. You know what I mean? Are there any additional challenges to still having kind of a
committee?
One guy one day, one guy next, whatever it is?
I don't think there's necessarily an issue with it. It's something that I would say. That's an interesting question. It's one that I would answer probably like this. Do I have an issue with it? No. Are there challenges to it? No. Does everyone want to be the feature back? Of course. So, idealistically, everyone wants to be I want to be the person who gets 30 carries a game. But in, a real situation, that's not probably what's going to happen. If that's what's working most, effectively for the offense to go 10 here, 15 here, 5 to this back and such, and then that's what needs to be done for the offense. That's what needs to be done for Michigan, because it's not it's not like the University of Drake Johnson or University of Davion or Ty. It's like University of Michigan. It's the entire team, so it's doing what helps them the most.